death rates on the globe.
New rules kick in LA today that require anyone who wants to enter a restaurant, a gym, or a movie theater to show proof of vaccination.
I'm totally against it. I think it is intrusive. I think we don't want to wear a mask anymore, so then eventually we have to do it at some point.
Police in Houston are defending their decision not to stop a Travis Scott concert until 8 people were killed and more than a dozen injured. Correspondent Lilia Luciano is in Houston.
Travis Scott is one of the biggest names in music. He's a globally superstar who's known for these high energy, sometimes chaotic performances. In the past, he's already pled guilty to 2 charges related to inciting disorderly conduct among his fans.
There's a hearing today in Kansas City, Missouri that could overturn Kevin Strickland's triple murder conviction. Larry Darnell Smith is with the National Organization of Exonerees.
His heart is beating heavy. He's hopeful. He's been let down so many times, and he's wondering, like, will this be it? Is this the last time? Will I have that opportunity to touch the soil? Strickland
is black. He was convicted by an all-white jury. 2 others convicted in the case say he wasn't at the crime scene. Strickland's been in jail 29. Iraq security forces blame an Iranian-backed militia for an assassination attempt against Iraq's prime minister involving 2 armed drones flown into his home. CBS's Imtiaz Tayab.
As far as we know, never has a drone been used to target the head of state of any country. And this strike sets an alarming precedent for a technology that has gone from being advanced weaponry in a military's arsenal to being commercially available.
S&P futures are up 8. Dow futures ahead 142. This is CBS News.
Today, better nutrition and great taste are more important than ever. That's why you and your family more, and that's healthy news for everyone. Only Eggland's Best.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now, but if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment. Bell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 49 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Kershaw. The city of Saginaw is resuming water shutoffs starting today for residents who fail to respond to notices requesting access to meters or service line inspection. The city's announcement said staff have been having problems entering some homes to check meters or water lines, and many doors are being ignored. They said in order to maintain the system and compliance with the state's lead service line replacement program, the city is resuming shutoffs for failure to comply with those notices. Customers will be notified 10 days prior to any shutoff, which will only occur after multiple attempts to contact them. The city has paused water shutoffs for non-payment for several months due to the pandemic. The only water shutoffs being done were due to potential cross-connection, emergency turnoff due to broken pipes, and accounts that were requested to be closed and finalized. Right now, the city is not resuming shutoffs due to non-payments. Discussions continue in Saginaw. Here's WSGW's Rick Antonio.
Following the last two American Rescue Plan Act Friday open house events, Saginaw City Council will be hearing from representatives from Plant Moran tax consultants seeking allocation of funds. Speakers from the group include Senior Manager Amanda Cronk and Certified Public Accountant Ryan Camiller, talking on how the pandemic affected the company economically and how ARPA funds could help after a loss of revenue associated to virus-related closures. Outside of possible public comment topics, the routine agenda includes a number of purchases, ranging from a more than $730,000 agreement with American Excavating for the Baum Street surface lot project to a number of repairs and equipment additions for the water department. Council will also be discussing mayoral appointments to the Historic District Commission Study Committee, the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, and the Saginaw Housing Commission. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time 9:07.
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Now, All A's is an exclusive authorized repair facility for BG products and services. BG is a proprietary group of chemicals, equipment, and procedures that flush your engine's lubrication system, cooling system, and fuel injectors, increasing the engine's performance, efficiency, and life. So next time you schedule routine auto maintenance, ask All A's about the advantages of BG service. Now down on Poseyville Road.
Is All A's Automotive
Morning, Pastor.
Repair a business?
Good morning. We'll be with you in a few minutes. And I turn the videos off when we're not on, so don't worry about it.
Okay, thanks.
Talk to you soon.
They did a great job keeping me in fast and had excellent communication with what was going on with my vehicle through diagnostic and repair.
In fact, 96% of All A's customers rank them 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. See for yourself at allaysautorepair.net. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast. Charlevoix County in northern Michigan, investigators are looking for an East Jordan woman who went missing over the weekend. Lacey Castle was reported missing Saturday. Her vehicle was located at the Nature Preserve on Bailing Road Friday and was last seen on a trail camera Friday evening. The 32-year-old Castle is blonde with blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a blue hoodie, black leggings, and carrying a multicolored blanket. As another missing person case goes into a second week, the family of Brendan Santo is offering a reward for information about his whereabouts. Here's Jim Matthews.
18-year-old Rochester Hills native Brendan Santo went missing last weekend on the campus of Michigan State University. He was there visiting friends during the weekend of the Michigan versus Michigan State football game. After massive searches in the area, his family is offering a $5,000 reward for tips that help bring him home. The family is working with Crime Stoppers of Mid-Michigan and hoping that someone can provide credible information that leads to a safe return. MSU police have his car, which was in the same spot he left it last weekend, but they have not been able to find Brendan's phone. The FBI and several other law enforcement agencies have joined the investigation. Tips can be submitted through the MSU Police and Public Safety toll-free tip line at 844-99-MSU-PD. Mid-Michigan at 517-483-STOP. Jim Matthews, Michigan News Network.
The Michigan Appeals Court affirmed a 2-year suspension for a doctor who approved nearly 22,000 medical marijuana certificates in a 12-month period. An expert said it would have been impossible for Dr. Vernon Proctor to conduct exams, obtain medical histories, and take other necessary steps for that many patients. He has an office in Baldwin. People seeking to use medical marijuana need approval from a doctor when they apply for a state card. WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW with plenty of sunshine to start your work week. Temperatures well above the average will be in the low 60s. We have southwest winds between 5 and 15, gusting in the 20s. Monday night, cloudy skies, 45, and west-southwest winds light around 5 miles per hour. We'll have areas of fog early Tuesday, just a slight chance for rain showers that day. Overcast skies, we're in the mid-50s. We'll stay in the mid-50s on Wednesday with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. 59 Veterans Day, rain showers likely. And staff meteorologist Mandy Faluber with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now, 46 degrees.
Now,
the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you, and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW for this Monday, the 8th of November. We got a busy morning, too. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to be talking to a friend of mine by the name of Smallwood Holloman, and he is with Alpha Phi Alpha, celebrating their 50th anniversary. We're going to talk about that with Smallwood. After the 11 o'clock news, Charlie Root will be talking to David Hall from the Saginaw Housing Commission about first-time buyers. But for the first part of this hour, we're going to talk about an organization in Bay City and an event coming up, and we'll find out more about it from Pastor Mary Rathke from the Bay City Dreamers Center. Good morning to you, Pastor.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
There you go. I didn't have you turned up. Now, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on.
You're welcome. I think before we get into some of the specifics of roof survivors and things of that nature, you're with the Bay City Dream Center. What is that? Give us an overview of it.
Yeah, so Dream Centers began out in California in the 90s, and it was a way to have a community center, but have it attached to a church, something that could be 24 hours, and to kind of fill in the gaps and help the community in ways other nonprofits don't.
So is it a church? I mean, you're a pastor, so that's an obvious question. Is it a church?
Yes. Well, we do have a Sunday service on Sunday mornings. So we are a church on Sunday mornings. And then we are also a community center the rest of the week. We are a 501c3 federal IRS organization that's recognized, a nonprofit organization. So we're kind of doing both. We offer church on Sunday mornings, but then the rest of the week we're helping out with car seats and diapers and furniture and helping the community out.
And you had mentioned affiliated with a church. Is there a separate affiliated church?
Nope. The church that meets on Sunday morning, it's just totally a non-denominational. Yes.
All right. Rooftop Survivors. What is that about?
Well, we need funds to help the people in need. And the hope was that those who gathered on Sunday mornings would, through their donations, be able to help care for the facility and purchase all the items that we hand out. I don't take a paycheck, so I'm 100% full-time to be able to run the center as the executive director. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that come to church on Sundays are also people in need. So there's not a lot of income that comes in. And so we have about less than 10 families that give more than $100 a month to kind of help out. So we're trying to think of different ideas to raise money. And my big thing is to raise awareness. We give out the coats and the blankets in the wintertime, and most people don't recognize how many people are living in Bay City that need coats and blankets, not necessarily because they're homeless, some do, but because they keep their heat so low and the heat costs this winter are going to be so high. So in the spirit of, Terry Watson, who was a wonderful person here in Bay City, who brought lots of awareness to the firework festival and had done so much with different events, I thought, I'm going to get up on the roof of the church and I'm not going to come down. I'm only going to survive on items that we hand out to people in need, which include a couch. I'm going to have a couch up there, emergency food, and lots of coats and blankets. And I wanted the image of the couch because we've talked to a lot of single moms or what people like to call the working poor, where they're working so they don't really qualify for benefits, but their expenses are so high that these people keep their heat set at like 50 or 55 degrees all winter long. And so they're coming to us asking for extra coats or blankets because their children are sitting on the couch in the living room freezing. So I'm going to be up on the couch on the roof, and I'm going to just have lots of blankets to keep me warm.
And when are you going to be doing this?
So I'm climbing up on the roof November 11th, and I'm not planning on coming down until I've raised $50,000.
Oh, that's a big number.
Yes.
That's a big number. How have you started this already? Have you raised funds?
Yes, we have. We've got some wonderful neighbors. We've got the Ambrose and Squires Funeral Home right across the street. They've already given us $5,000 and has committed to be a day sponsor. United Bay Community Credit Union has already given us $5,000. We've had lots of people hear about it and already gone on to rooftopsurvivor.org and have given. And so we're at about $22,000 that have been raised so far.
So I guess we need to know where this roof is.
Well, the peaks of the building are way too high to get up, but there is an awning, like a carport, right on the edge of the parking lot area. And that's probably about 15 feet up in the air. And so we've had a building company came and checked out the roof to make sure that it was okay. And BZAC builders came and they built a platform up there. And so we had another company bring a lift and they put a couch up there for me. So I should be good. I'm not planning on coming down at all. I'm going to have a little porta potty up there and a cooler with some water in it, but people can drop off donations of food if they want for me. And I'm going to be up there for the minimum of 3 nights, even if I raise all the money in the first day.
Nonstop.
Nonstop.
So where in Bay City is it located?
700 Lafayette Avenue. So we're on the corner of Lafayette and Garfield.
Now, is there a website where people can find out more about this?
Yep. You can go to rooftopsurvivor.org, or you can go to the Church Dream Center website, which is greatlakesdreamcenter.org.
So, we probably don't think as much about those who don't have as much as we should, and particularly in some of the communities around here. Bay City, I never would have thought as having that big a problem, but it's much bigger than we know, isn't it?
It really is. I think we kind of forget about those that kind of slip between the cracks. But we work a lot with the people that have left the Good Samaritan Rescue Mission. And what we don't think about is, yep, they've got an apartment, but they need a couch, they need a bed. The women that are leaving the shelter, the women's shelter, or we have people call us that maybe they've left an abusive situation or they're moving out for the first time. And I go to bring them some food and I realize they don't even have pots and pans to cook this food in, or they don't have laundry soap to wash their clothes or diapers for their babies. So the government does a great job right now with the bridge card. There's a lot of food that's given out, but there's not a lot of things that we still need on a daily basis, like toilet paper and cleaning products.
All right. Can you hang on? I want to take a break here and we'll come back and talk a little more.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Pastor Mary Rathke from Dream Center in Bay City. I'm going to be sitting on the roof. We'll talk more about that and some other things when we come back here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW, where I want to talk for a moment about my friends at Thalen. It's time to get more for your money, and it's time to think Thalen Kia. Thalen Kia, located on Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Now, Kia combines style, safety, plus dependability with their 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, and it's included on every new Kia. And no one makes that dependability more affordable than Thalen Kia on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Get more value for less in a new Kia Rio S 5-door. Buy your new Kia Rio S 5-door from just $236 per month with nothing down for 84 months. It's time to think Thalen Kia, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, getting you more for your money because it's the right thing to do. Plus, taxes, state, and dealer fees, 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. See retailer for full warranty details. Included 500 Kia customer cash, and APR is 3.9% on approved credit. See Thalen Kia for complete details. Deal ends November 30th, 2021. Shop online at Thalen Kia. It's ThalenKia.com or thinkthalen.com. Do it today. Take a break, and we'll be back with Pastor Rathke after these notes.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job the candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio.
I'm Connell McShane. This is the Fox Business Report.
Coty shares are rallying after the beauty products company reported a stronger summer quarter than forecast. It's also raising expectations for the year. Coty lost money a year ago. Coty also is selling off another piece of its Wella hair care business to investment firm KKR. Goldman Sachs is advising investors to sell shares of discount fashion chain H&M. Analysts say H&M is seeing rising costs for freight, cotton, and polyester. Cadillac is getting ready to challenge Tesla and other electric car makers. Reuters says out Cadillac dealers who are not willing to invest in training and equipment to support Cadillac's conversion to all electric in less than a decade. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Near historic low rates may be a great reason to refinance, but when matched with an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot, you could be saving money and paying more towards the bottom line. Call a Loan Depot loan officer and ask about our 27-year Smart Term loan or our 10-year ARM loan. Get a great rate matched with a great loan by calling Late Loan or visit loandepot.com. At Loan Depot, home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit inspiresleep.com to learn more.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your... Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-417-5066. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-417-5066. That's 800-417-5066. 5066. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
I guess we'll try to make sense of it all.
That is a very, very difficult job. We will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Pastor Mary Rathke from Bay City Dream Center and Rooftop Survivors. She's going to be doing some roof sitting. When are you going up on the roof, Pastor?
I'm going up November 11th, about 10:30 in the morning.
And you plan to stay up at least 3 days, you said, right? So if people want to donate, how do they do that?
Well, they can go to rooftopsurvivor.org and give through GoFundMe. They can go directly to our website, GreatLakesDreamCenter.org, and give through a secure giving link there. They can also stop by the church or mail in a check.
All right. I have to ask a couple of questions. One, As I look at you, I see that beautiful microphone sitting there. Do you do podcasts or something? Do you do a lot online?
Well, actually, this microphone's borrowed from a friend who does something like that. Yep. We do obviously post the sermons on Facebook Live and on some of those different podcasts, but I don't do too much. I try to do a little bit on my Facebook page and things like that.
So what drew you to the Dream Center? How did it come about?
Well, you might remember back in 2010, for about 5 or 6 years, I did the Amazing Race for Rescue and I did Samaritan Survivor. And we raised over $100,000 during those years for the Good Samaritan Rescue Mission. So after raising money for them, I began volunteering. And what I found were that people would get established, and then within a year or so later, I'd see them come back. And so I begin to have conversations with them when I was there for parenting classes or for chapel or volunteering, and find out, why are you back here? You know, I thought we did everything we could to help you get established. And I found out that there's a lot of resources for people who are homeless, but there's not necessarily a lot of resources for that in between. There's usually food, but again, you know, if you don't have the money for that toilet paper or for those diapers or to get furniture, you find yourself renting or having high interest rates or taking out loans. And then all of a sudden, when those something happens and you can't pay for that, then everything's taken away. Or I would find out utilities in the wintertime, or water bills or electricity in the summertime would be a huge factor. So when I heard about the Dream Centers out in LA and how they kind of step in and kind of help out with helping people so they're not becoming homeless, I just really had a burden in my heart to create one for Bay City.
What drew you to the religious part, being a pastor?
Well, I find that I can help somebody with their utility bill, but it's really something inside their heart or soul that needs to be ministered to. And for most people, they're not going to feel whole or complete until they've connected with like their higher power. We know this works in 12-step programs. So I've always been a Christian. I've always had a desire to share God's word and to help people who are Christians live life to their fullest. And the broken people I've ministered to are not living life to the fullest. And we can continue giving out those handouts or hand-ups, but unless something in their heart or soul has been restored or healed, you're not going to see a true life change. So what's been amazing here at the Dream Center, we've been open about 3 years now, is to see people who have come in for the diapers or for the toilet paper. And after they get to know us and feel safe and feel like they belong, feel like there's no judgment about why they're in their current situation, some of them are now the ones that are giving, or they're now the ones coming in every week and volunteering. They're now the ones that have established their careers or their households. And so it's wonderful seeing that develop in their hearts and souls.
So if someone is in need and the Dream Center may be an answer for them, how do they get a hold of the Dream Center? Because I'm assuming, I know that's a bad word, but I'm assuming they may not have access to all the technology and things of that nature. So how do they get a hold of you?
The easiest way for them to get a hold of us, they can stop by during the week, or they can simply call. Our phone number here is 989-270-7575. We do calls and texts with most people, or we have a lot of walk-ins. People will just stop by and let us know kind of what's going on.
And your hours?
We're open Wednesdays from 10 to noon right now. And then we have one operations manager, and she's here throughout the week. And so most of the time people will call and make an appointment.
Make an appointment, come on in and sit down and talk to someone.
Exactly.
Do you work, since you were affiliated with Dan Streeter and the Rescue Ministries for a long time, do you work hand in hand with them? Is there a natural progression from someone coming out of, say, Good Samaritan into their own place?
Yeah, for a while we were doing all of the furniture for people when they left there. So we would get most of the calls for people. Their Impact Designs is up and running now, which is wonderful because we operate just on volunteers and donations. So now, we still might help 1 or 2 people with the furniture that's leaving there, but we're also helping the women's shelter here in Bay City and other people that maybe kind of slip through the cracks. But we definitely have lots of friends that work there. I go in and volunteer on a regular basis, so you get to know people. We help people with rides. Those that are homebound, our volunteers will go and deliver items to them and minister to them right at their homes.
All right, so let's leave everybody again with what's going to be happening. You're going to be sitting on the roof. Tell everybody where that roof is.
At 700 Lafayette Avenue in Bay City.
And you're going to be going up there when?
On Thursday at 11:30 a.m.
And you're a little halfway to your goal. You'd like to raise about $50,000.
That's right. And if it rains, if it snows, if it's icy, I'm staying up there.
Oh, I hope not. I hope none of that happens. All right. Well, Pastor, good luck with it. And, you evoked the name Terry Watson earlier. And in the old days of fireworks fundraising, I used to chase him up on roofs all the time. This brings back memories.
Well, you're welcome to stop by anytime. We've got a lift. They'll bring you up to see me, Art. So feel free.
Might have to do that.
There you
All right,
go.
Pastor, thanks a lot. Appreciate you being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Pastor Mary Rathke, we thank you for joining us from the Bay City Dream Center. We will now move on to open lines and the open line portion of the Art Lewis Show. Whatever you'd like to chat about, 752-6111. Toll free, 866-790-WSGW. Number of things to bring up. One of them, if you didn't hear about it, a judge has temporarily frozen the vaccine mandate after a federal lawsuit. This was a federal appeals court, and they suspended the Biden administration's vaccine requirements for private companies. And, you can say that's a major blow. It's not over yet. I mean, it's going to continue on until finally I think the Supreme Court's going to rule on it. It was issued by a panel of 3 judges in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. The judges wrote that, quote, there was cause to believe there are grave statutory and constitutional issues with the mandate. The ruling comes in response to a lawsuit filed Friday by a group of plaintiffs, including the Louisiana Attorney General, Jeff Landry. He called it a major win for liberty and job creators. Now, again, this is a suspension. It's not the absolute final answer. It only halts it for now, but it will be interesting to see where it goes from here. Will they, for example, will the government ask for a full panel? And will it move to the Supreme Court? And would they take it on an emergency basis? All kinds of questions to be answered. But for now, anyway, it's on hold. And the difficulty with that, as I see it, and again, I'm not a lawyer, but the difficulty with that, as I see it, if I were a corporation with more than 100 employees, and by the way, there was also talk that inside the Biden administration, they were looking at companies with less than 100 employees to drop the mandate on them too. The problem is this suspension is just that. It is conceivable that a court of higher authority, including the Supreme Court, could reverse that and put the mandate back in place. So companies are caught between a rock and a hard place. Do they prepare for this or don't they prepare for this? Time will tell. I would hope the courts take this up in an expedited fashion and get a final ruling and determination so we can move on. All right. We're going to take a break. Lines open for you at Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. That's 989-752-6111. Toll free inside the state of Michigan, 866-790 WSGW. We will be back after these notes.
For almost 20 years, Line-X has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Line-X have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty. No yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Line-X is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and I have practiced elder law, estate planning, asset and business protection 3 decades. As a veteran, I've also helped veterans and their spouses benefit from special VA programs. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you have learned the rules, what solutions work, and had your questions answered, such as, can I protect my stuff from the government and long-term care costs? What is the difference between revocable and irrevocable trusts? How can I avoid probate? And do I need to? Should I give my stuff to the kids or others? Know the rules and what solutions work. Get answers to your questions.
If your planning is more than 5 years old, you may have missed some great opportunities. Call 989-790-1461 to attend attorney Jerry Rice's free workshop, How to Protect Your Stuff in 3 Easy Steps. This workshop is on Thursday, November 11th, Saginaw at the Capoco Community Credit Union. Call 989-790-1461 today or register online at jerryrifelawyer.com.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them, and you cannot rely on them. Be vigilant at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Napa know-how.
Right now, a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil is only $19.99. It's the hottest deal of the year for the coldest time of the year. So if you're in your car right now, there's no need to turn on the heat. I'm about to read this sizzler again. That's Napa full synthetic for a hot $19.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations does not include taxes and fees. Advertised sale price not available in some states. Offer ends 12/31/21.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with lots of sound effects. So to help you remember that customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here are some zany sounds. Saving on home insurance is no laughing matter. Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need. The money you save could change your life. It's time for you to take your insurance choice seriously. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and open phones from now till 10 o'clock. You can give us a call, anything on your mind you'd like to chat about. As you know, the $1.2 billion infrastructure, what I call the hard infrastructure bill, passed the House, and it's on to the president for signing. It's the largest transportation package in U.S. history, not without some contention inside the House between Democrats. All the Republicans had to do was sit back and watch. And in the final vote, it is interesting, 6 of the squad, the ultra progressives, including AOC, voted against the package because they weren't going to vote for it until the Build Back Better package was passed. and 13 Republicans voted in favor of it. It is a bipartisan bill. It came out of the Senate bipartisan, and so it's now on to the president, which should have happened a long time ago. Now, and Nancy Pelosi promised the squad a vote on the 15th of November or sometime thereafter. There's no guarantee it's going to pass. Moderate Democrats in the House have said they're not going to do anything until they see the CBO score on it. Is it really $1.75 or $1.85 trillion, or is it more? They're waiting to find out. I can just imagine the yelling and screaming that's going to take place if that bill does not pass. And then even if it passes the House and goes to the Senate, particularly Senator Joe Manchin is not happy. They put back in some provisions. He's liable to vote against it. And all they can afford to lose is one vote in the Senate because not a single Republican is going to support it. Carl is in Saginaw, so we'll say good morning to Carl.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning.
Beautiful day today.
Another one.
Yes. You started out talking about vaccine mandates and the courts. From what I understand, the Supreme Court, ruled on this 50 years ago and again like 8. And they upheld that the government can mandate vaccines. They did it with smallpox and other things. I think some of them close to 100 years ago. So there's a precedent in the courts of saying yes.
There's a difference, though. There's a difference.
How's that?
The difference is the mandates for like polio vaccine is a big national mandate, correct? And smallpox and vaccines and things of that nature that we've used to eliminate a lot of these diseases was a national mandate. This mandate is directed at business. That's the difference. And that's why the courts are involved. So it's going to be it's a different ruling. It's businesses. His mandate's directed at business.
Yeah, but that's not the only. They also, government employees are being mandated.
Yeah, that's fine, and he's got the right to do that.
Mandated.
But it's not a general. It's not the same kind of mandate the court ruled on 50 years ago. It's more specific, and that's the contention. Does the government have the right to tell business? Well, but technicalities are what the law is all about, isn't it? That's why there are lawyers.
Look at OSHA. OSHA tells businesses all the time.
Yep, safety and all. I understand that.
And the courts have withheld that.
Well, we're going to see what happens, aren't we? I mean, we're going to find out how different it is.
All right, Art. I heard a discussion. I was watching one of these things on TV. Maybe I shouldn't. But they were talking. I know. They're talking about, this is, that we've been in a pandemic, but the transitioning into an endemic, which, if I understand it, I could be wrong, where, the pandemic is where it's growing, it's spreading, it's getting worse. But the endemic, if I understand right, is where it's kind of like settled down and it's reached equilibrium. Kind of like where we are with like the flu.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that, but it's interesting.
We have X number of deaths, from the flu each year, and we kind of accept that as that's what we accept.
Tell you how I look at that.
With COVID.
Yeah, I don't care whether they call it a pandemic, an endemic, a demic. I could care less. What I care about is, are we getting better? Is it reducing? Are there less deaths? That's what I care about. I don't, they want to name these things. Fine. Put any name on it you want.
The idea is, it's not going to come down to zero. We're not going to.
Well, no, of course not.
especially if people don't get vaccinated.
Yeah.
We're gonna reach a point where, we're gonna have X number of deaths a year from COVID, and that's just gonna be.
And I think we'll reach a point where either there will be an annual COVID shot like there is a flu shot, or maybe at some point in time, the pharmaceutical geniuses that put these things together, and they are smart people, will figure out how to roll it all into one. I don't know if they can do that technically, to be honest.
Or a pill.
Well, and a pill too. Yeah, or a pill. Right. Pfizer's got a pill.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So who knows what that answer will be. But no, I never expect us to go to zero. It's a virus, and they come and they go, and they mutate, and they do all kinds of things. So, yeah, I think it's going to be around a long time. To the degree that we control it and that it doesn't impact our lives, that's the point we aim for.
I was looking at pictures of the Spanish flu back in 1917, and everybody's wearing masks, and they were quarantining people and all of that. But then, within a couple of years later, it was over. Even though, hundreds of thousands of people had died. But then you look at the pictures of these, and, life is back to normal.
Yeah, well, no, I would expect that to happen here.
So, we'll get through this. And we've had some encouraging news. The stock market last week, 500,000 new jobs last month. There's some good signs,
Yeah, now all they got to do is figure out how to control energy and prices. Inflation is going to kill us.
Well,
right now, that's a negative. That's a huge negative right now. It overshadows everything because it affects everybody's pocketbook. So
that's true.
All right. Hey, I got to run. Have a good one. Talk to you later, Carl. Take care. Mark, hang on. We'll get to you right after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we only need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. 857526.
Do you run out of hot water at home? It's a great time to replace that old water heater with a new model from Richmond. Choose from over 20 models in stock with more available special order. Want even more energy savings? We have several models that are Energy Star rated. All water heaters are 11% off now at Menards. Good through November 13th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45%. This Black Friday event, Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Hey team, we landed the contract!
Yeah. Kaya's web design studio just landed the gig of a lifetime.
It starts next week.
Their staff needs to double before the dream deal becomes a nightmare.
I need front end, back end, project manager.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them, and you cannot rely on them. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign or at Exergen.com.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
1, 2, 3.
The WSW online poll, the Detroit Lions of 2021.
Oh, okay.
Well, especially since they're going into a bye week.
Well, and they can't lose this weekend.
They can't lose. It's 2008. The Lions finished the first 0-16 season in NFL history. Now, this season has just been matched by the Cleveland Browns. That was back in 2017. Now, as the Lions are in a bye week of this expanded 17-game season with a record of 0-8, there is speculation the team might finish 0-17. Will speculation become reality? That is what we want to know from you in the poll. Our poll question is simple. Will the Lions win at least one game in this 20? Vote yes, you can vote no, or if you're very optimistic, I give you the option of, I think the Lions will win more than one game this season.
Oh, you didn't put one more option in there? Tie.
That would be the ultimate, wouldn't it? Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. Back to our phones. Mark is in Bay City. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
We're well, thanks.
Hey, I wanted to pick your brain on and see if I can't get a comment from you on the $450,000 that this administration is seeking for reparations for individuals that were separated, children mainly, from the border. Now, under his previous administration, Biden and Obama built cages at the border, and we utilized those cages when Trump came into office. But when those cages were used, they were separating families, kids, and adults that crossed the border illegally, either through a coyote or some sort of trafficker. My question is what are we doing? Why are we paying people that break laws?
No, we're not yet, and we shouldn't. Period. I mean, it's insanity. About fell off my chair when I first heard that. And not only that, it was per person. So a husband and a wife could get almost $1 million. And I'm going, what in the world are they talking about? You know? I mean, if they're intent.
DOJ.
Well, and what, you know, it's, yeah, well, it's his administration. He appoints the DOJ. He appoints the Attorney General. You know, he can't walk away from that. You know, they're saying, well, it's a Department of Justice thing, and they're an independent department. Yeah, yes and no. They still work for the administration. He could have put a stop to it in a heartbeat if he wanted. What's your
thought?
I don't personally, though, to be honest, I don't think it'll happen. That's my personal opinion.
Happen. I just don't think it will be $450,000. I think it'll be a few $1,000s just to put it in the Republican eye.
You could be right. You could be right. Time will tell.
Yeah.
So,
and then you got time for
go ahead.
More or no?
Go ahead.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say now, so no worries.
Okay, we'll do it again.
Psaki.
Oh,
I should run for Psaki's position for the podium since this administration is doing so good on everything. I think he'd be a great speaker for.
Have a nice day, Mark.
You as well. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. Art, last week on church radio, it was the Wednesday 3 p.m. show. It was reported that 4% of the population was born out of wedlock in 1950. Now, after 48 years of abortion, well, I understand. 8 years of abortion, today, 52% of the population is born out of wedlock. And look at all the things that have accompanied all this. We've got more crime, mental health, poverty, government dependence. And that's what all this fornication has brought down upon us. But originally, the liberals wanted abortion to curb out of wedlock births. If anything, out of wedlock births skyrocketed from 4% to 52%, and that's what my point is. So,
yeah, well, it's, you know, listen, it's not
the answer.
It's not, you know, it's all you have to do is look at the country and look at how we've moved away from our religious foundations to understand that. I mean, you know, there's no surprise there. We've been seeing it generationally, and it's not a surprise. We ought to know by now what it means. So,
right.
yeah. All right.
The crime, the mental health, the poverty, and the government dependence have skyrocketed since all this has gone on. So,
Yep, and that's
it all
part
works
of
together.
part
All
of
works
that.
together.
Part of that, particularly the government dependence, translates into votes. At least some think so. So.
Oh, right.
All right.
No doubt about it.
Good enough.
All right.
Thanks.
That's it.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, what's going to be happening here in a little bit? We'll take time out for news, of course. Next hour, we're going to begin the hour talking to a friend of mine in Midland by the name of Smallwood Holloman. Smallwood is a retired executive from Dow and a chemist, but he's also a member of the Alpha Pi Alpha fraternity and the local chapter, which is celebrating their 50th anniversary, and they have some events coming up. We'll talk to him about that and what it means to be a member. All ahead this morning. But let's take our last break, and then we'll be back to finish up this hour.
Had your family's eyes checked lately? Most insurances end at the end of the year, so if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Now is the time to get that annual exam you've been putting off. Having school-age children's eyes checked can help treat possible issues with schoolwork and prevent other eye-related diseases. Associates in Eye Care welcome Dr. Engel, who is now accepting new patients. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kazmarek, or Dr. Engel at their Saginaw or 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at Identity and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Napa know-how.
Right now, a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil is only $19.99. It's the hottest deal of the year for the coldest time of the year. So if you're in your car right now, there's no need to turn on the heat. I'm about to read this sizzler again. That's Napa full synthetic for a hot $19.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations does not include taxes and fees. Advertised sale price not available in some states. Offer ends 12/31/21.
Colby Newberg keeps it himself, running to the left side. He's got a lead. He goes through. Touchdown, Saginaw Valley. There's the dagger.
The SVSU Cardinals go for their 6th straight win when they play the regular season finale at Michigan Tech, live Saturday afternoon at 12:30 on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. SVSU football is brought to you by Medicare Choices of Saginaw, Forward Energy, United Financial, Dak Schmid, your Edward Jones financial advisor.
Saginaw Valley State University football is on WSGW.
All right, go Cardinals, huh? Meantime, we're going to head up toward the top of the hour. As I mentioned, next hour we'll start out talking to Smallwood Holloman. Then we'll have some more open phones before the hour is over. At 11 o'clock, after the news, Charlie Root is going to be talking to David Hall from the Saginaw Housing Commission about first-time home buying. That'll be part of Focus. Stick around now. CBS has the national and international news coming up at the top of the hour. And then it's the local report to bring you up to date on the region and the state of Michigan. I'll be back with Hour 2 of the Art Lewis Show from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WS.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Foreign tourists are making a comeback in the U.S. today. Pandemic travel restrictions have been lifted for fully vaccinated international travelers. CBS's Wendy Gillette is at the airport overseas.
The departures board at Zurich Airport was filled with flights to the U.S., New York, Miami, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. For the first time in 20 months, tourists from any country are welcome on board and into the U.S. as long as they're fully vaccinated. Switzerland resident Sarah Fafley is flying to Newark Airport.
I hope everything works out well and it's not going to have like huge queues at the airport for the entry.
But she says it will all be worth it when she's in New York. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, Zurich, Switzerland.
Some LA business owners don't like the fact that they'll have to check customers for proof of vaccination beginning today. Joel Kreisberg. Grill.
I don't think that we need to be the police and try now to fight with people that some of them doesn't even want to put a mask. I don't think that this is my job.
He says he'll follow the rule because he has to. A criminal investigation is underway in Houston after 8 people were killed during a crowd surge at Travis Scott's concert Friday. Basil Baig's brother Dinesh was among them.
We're going to get justice for him. Travis Scott, you are the one who's liable. You got blood on your hands, man.
The youngest person killed was 14. The concert continued for almost 40 minutes after officials declared a mass casualty event. Former President Obama attended the COP26 climate conference in Scotland today and urged world delegates to do more to stop climate change. Mitzi Tan came from the Philippines to protest.
The U.S. is the country that is historically most responsible for the climate crisis, and yet they have barely done. Promised so much, they have pledged so much, but they're still not doing enough.
Tesla stocks fallen 4.5% this morning after Elon Musk put up a poll on Twitter asking users whether he should sell 1/10 of his shares. 58% said yes. Musk is facing a tax bill of more than $15 billion. Stores are scrambling to attract workers ahead of the holidays. CBS's Jim Krasula has the details.
Macy's is offering referral bonuses of up to $500 for each person employees recruit to the company for the holiday season. Walmart is paying starting wages up to $17 an hour. Some Amazon warehouse jobs now offer signing bonuses up to $3,000.
The Dow is up 153 points. This is CBS News.
Need to hire great candidates? You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform for interviewing, screening, and hiring high-quality people. Visit Indeed.com.
Hi, I'm Terry Rock. Are you happy with your Medicare? I am now, after I met the pros at Medicare Choices. Yes, you do have choices when it comes to Medicare coverage. No cookie-cutter plan for me. You buy a pair of shoes if they fit. Get the right fit, a customized plan designed just for you that helps you protect that hard-earned retirement income. Call 989-899-7820, MedicareChoicesInfo.com. We'll walk you through every step.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. For parties big or small, if you're feeding a whole bunch of SOBs, then let the Lumberjack Restaurant take mouth-watering ribs, finger-licking chicken, dangerously creamy mac and cheese. Everyone in the neighborhood will be begging for an invite. So get your axe on that fancy phone of yours and visit lumberjackcatering.com to see how you can upgrade your next event with Lumberjack Catering.
At Dairyland Seed, we're proud to offer our strongest ever lineup of top-performing seed. So proud that we're just going to stop talking and let the results speak for themselves. For corn, 210 top 5 finishers in independent trials. Silage, 200 top 5 finishers per tons per acre, milk per ton, and milk per acre in independent trials. Soybean, finishers in independent trials. And alfalfa, a 6.9% yield advantage in 502 head-to-head comparisons. Learn more about how we're bringing the yield at dairylandseed.com.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol.
Live
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 53 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A Flint area woman is missing, and police are asking for help locating her. 39-year-old Tracy Renee Brownrigg was last seen October 25th. She was known to be in Flint's south side around the area of Fenton and Atherton roads. Brownrigg is described as 5'8" and 155 pounds. She has shoulder length auburn or red hair. Anyone with information on Brownrigg's whereabouts is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-JAIL. A cash reward of up to $2,500 is being offered for tips leading to her discovery. Credit unions Impact Saginaw and Alpha Media are partnering for a special program to make the holiday season happier for kids who have to spend time in Covenant Healthcare's pediatric unit. The Lights Before Christmas will shine lights towards kids' windows every night at 8 p.m. from December 6th through the 10th. Flashlights, glow foam tubes, and anything that lights up will be used, with Impact Saginaw providing free flashlights to these each night. A different musical act will be featured, with cookies provided by Tim Hortons, hot chocolate provided by Covenant Healthcare Gift Shop. The fire department, police, and MMR will also be there to shine their lights. The public is welcome to attend nightly from December 6th through the 10th, starting at 7:45 p.m. New unwrapped toys can be dropped off at various locations or brought to the events. Donation to Covenant Kids Foundation are also welcome. DTE Energy will be offering a one-time voluntary refund to be spent on tree trimming. The company received approval from the Michigan Public Service Commission, authorizing a $70 million accounting measure. Expectedly higher profits from changed electricity use patterns of its retail customers during the pandemic. The tree trimming will help boost system reliability following power outages during severe storms. WSGW News Time 10:07.
Great Lakes Bay Health Centers would like to remind you that building a defense against COVID-19 will take all of us. That's why we're proud to offer not only COVID testing, but also free COVID vaccines at multiple locations. Visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org for comprehensive information on locations and times near you. The only way this pandemic will end is with us. So let's all do our part to stay healthy and get vaccinated. Please remember to continue following safety measures to keep yourself, your family, and our community safe. Together, we can finally end COVID-19.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our light brown or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. The debate rages on over Line 5 in the Straits of Mackinac. Leaders of Michigan's federally recognized indigenous tribes have asked President Joe Biden to intervene in their effort to shut down Line 5 and preserve their treaty rights. Biden also received a letter from a group of Republican U.S. representatives who want the president to keep the pipeline operating. The tribal leaders argue Line 5 is an environmental risk to the greatest freshwater resource if the underwater line should rupture or leak. The Republican leaders warn President Biden of fuel price shocks if Line 5 is shut down. It says poor mental health is linked to greater coronavirus rates. Researchers examined mental health levels across the U.S. and discovered that those who suffered from mental illness prior to the pandemic were more likely to develop COVID-19. Here's a local psychiatrist, Dr. Gerald Shiner.
We also know that people who suffer from other kinds of mental illness, not depression, but schizophrenia, also don't take good care of themselves. Patients who suffer from schizophrenia are more likely to smoke cigarettes. They're also less likely to go to the doctor, less likely to reach out for help when they're sick or to do things that they need to do to stay well.
The study found increases in stress, depression, and 2019 were connected to higher coronavirus rates in 2020. Gas prices in Michigan have reached a new high for the year. Drivers are now paying an average of $3.43 per gallon for regular gas, which is a 16-cent jump from last week. A full tank costs around $51 on average. Drivers can expect prices to remain elevated through the week if stock levels remain tight, along with the high cost of crude oil. WSGW News Time 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see mostly sunny skies here for today with a high into the mid-60s. Southwest winds of 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, increasing cloud cover with a low near 46. Tuesday, a slight chance for rain showers here late, mostly cloudy and a high of 55 degrees. Wednesday, partial sunshine develops, a high around 52. Thursday, a chance for rain, 61. Then by Friday, a chance for some rain showers here. We'll see cloudy skies, a high around 50 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 51.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to the second hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. We will have open phones for you during this hour. We are expecting a call from a friend of mine, Smallwood Holloman, about an anniversary coming up for Alpha Pi Alpha and the local chapter, and some events that they're going to be doing at the end of this week. As soon as Smallwood gets with us, we will chat with him. In the meantime, as I mentioned, open phones. If you got something on your mind, by all means, give us a call. Love to chat with you. And before we do that, we are going to say good morning to my good friend Smallwood Holloman. Smallwood, good morning to you.
Well, good morning, Art. How are you on a beautiful morning in Michigan?
No, just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful, as you are, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am.
You are a member of the local chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity and the Iota Chi Lambda chapter. Is that right?
You said it very well. Yes, indeed.
So let's talk a little bit, because this is an intercollegiate fraternity, and it's not one you joined when you were in college, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did. You did. Okay.
Yeah, I joined almost 50 years ago, back at Norfolk State University in Norfolk, Virginia, back in the mid-70s. I became a member of the fraternity, and I'll tell you, over the years, I have to say over the decade, have not regretted that decision. It's primarily a service organization, and it fits me well, and things I enjoy doing.
Now, if you stop most people on the street and you ask them about a fraternity, I'm sure the images of the motion picture industry come to mind. They're not service organizations, they're party times. Tell us a little bit about Alpha Phi Alpha, because this is kind of unique in the fraternity world, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is. And actually, back in the 1906, and just prior to that, the 7 men that were on the campus of Cornell University actually observed the other fraternities. Many of them were strictly about the party and the
all the good stuff we know about. Yeah.
All the good stuff. Yeah, indeed. Now, but Alpha was a little different. On that campus, you can probably imagine Cornell University, there was probably a handful of African Americans there on campus. So they were looking for a way to have an outlet to meet others, to basically fellowship together. And that was one of the real premises, but it clearly, from that point on, well, it evolved to a book club. These guys were very studious. And then, of course, the fraternity today is one that service is its major mantra or distinct. Now, we even on campus and the alumni chapters, we still enjoy a party, getting together and fellowshipping together. But we know life is more than that. I'm happy to say, over the 100-year plus that the fraternity has been around, we sure have a track record of service to communities.
So coming up is the 50th anniversary of the local chapter. Is that right?
That is correct.
How are you going to celebrate?
We're going to party, man. No.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
I've
known Smallwood a long time, folks.
Well, we're actually going to do a couple things. Excuse me. We're going to gather, and actually during those 2 hours or so we're together, the first hour is going to be a time for fraternity members and guests in the community to fellowship. We're going to have a nice little hors d'oeuvre, heavy hors d'oeuvre meal, and we're going to do those things. But then we're going to use the next hour. Thank you first to the founders or I should say those who helped to charter our chapter there in Saginaw. We still have one living member that we know of in Saginaw. There may be one other located somewhere in the state of Michigan, but we haven't quite found them yet. But the vast majority of the 8 men that founded our chapter, most have deceased and gone on. But some of them, of course, they left widows, and so we're going to have the widows there, and we're going to thank them for their time and allowing us to use and be with their husband over those 50 years that many of them were happy to see. But we're going to do another thing, too, other than commemorating with our founders. We're going to say thank you to some community partners. You may imagine over the 50 years, Alpha Phi in the community alone. We work with civic groups. We work with corporate groups. We work with the medical field. I mean, I could name different categories, and we've invited not all of those, and I think the number is up to close to 80 or so people. But we invited those, we call it a real top tier, that been with us the longest or made a major commitment of time or resources to help us through some of our projects. So we're going to thank them in a very special way tomorrow also. Not tomorrow, I'm sorry, on we're going to party a little bit, but we're going to do a lot of thank yous to those who helped get us started and to those who were partners with us throughout the decade.
How many members in your local chapter?
We have we count about 30 plus gentlemen in the local chapter. All aren't overly active. They support us, but may not be active in all of our activities. But we have about 30 members throughout the Great Lakes Bay region.
And then are you also going to be doing something on Saturday?
Yes, indeed. Saturday. I tell you, it's going to be a busy weekend for these guys at Iota Chi Lambda. One of our founders, his name was James Gaddis. He was a local educator there in Saginaw. About 5 years ago, he challenged us to consider hosting a state conference. And he says, and we should do it during the time we celebrate our 50th year. Now, many in the fraternity looked at him and said, well, we've never hosted one. And he corrected us. We had hosted one about 30 years ago to do that. But, we decided, okay, we hear you, James Gaddis. We're going to do it. And so it was a sort of an application process to the state director. And it was actually accepted 2 years ago. 3 years ago, I'm sorry, that we would be the host of actually at that time, it was the 2020 conference. But as you can imagine, COVID decided you're not going to have a conference in 2020. And so we didn't have it. Now, what is so heartbreaking about this, Gaddis, who, again, was a founder, passed away 3 years ago, right after the decision was made.
Yeah.
He passed away, so he didn't get to see, at least on this earth, his idea and his challenge to us to host both a commemorative 50-year anniversary and a state conference here in Saginaw.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen on Saturday. It'll be an all-day program, and if you have questions, I can tell you more about it. What's going to happen?
Well, I'll tell you what. You hang on. I'm going to take a break. When I come back, we'll do just that. We're talking to Smallwood Holloman about Alpha Pi Alpha and the Iota Chi Lambda chapter of this great service organization. More ahead here on the Art Lewis Show.
Spectrum Business knows small businesses are always looking to cut expenses. That's why we offer the best value on fast internet and phone. But we wanted to do more. So, how does 1 month free sound? Get 200 megabit per second internet for $49.99 a month and business phone for $19.99 a month. And right now, you can get 1 month of internet and phone and even TV for free. Call 855-258-5887 and switch to Spectrum Business.
Napa know-how. Right now, a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil is only $19.99. It's the hottest deal of the year for the coldest time of the year. So if you're in your car right now, there's no need to turn on the heat. I'm about to read this sizzler again. That's Napa full synthetic for a hot $19.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating locations does not include taxes and fees. Advertised sale price not available in some states. Offer ends 12/31/21.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
Was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher with the major averages in record territory after the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P closed at records on Friday. St. Louis Fed President James Bullard expects the supply chain crisis to extend through next year. Tesla shares are losing ground. CEO Elon Musk asked Twitter users if he should sell some of his stock. The majority said yes. However, the company already revealed in government filings that Musk planned to sell some shares to cover taxes on options he received years ago. Philip Morris International is relocating its corporate headquarters from New York City to Stamford, Connecticut. Investment firm SoftBank says its Vision Fund took a $10 billion loss from China's crackdown on tech firms. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Near historic low rates may be a great reason to refinance, but when matched with an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot, you could be saving money and paying more towards the bottom line. Call a Loan Depot loan officer and ask about our 27-year Smart Term loan or our 10-year ARM loan. Get a great rate matched with a great loan by calling 866-888-LOAN or visit loandepot.com. At Loan Depot, home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit Inspire.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at exergen.com.
At CDW, we get modern servers need to be flexible, scalable, and predictable. I predicted you'd say that.
Okay, what will I say next?
Security.
Impressive and freaky. CDW can implement secure Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Gen 10 servers that improve speed and performance while reducing
costs. See, predictable.
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it.
I predict a web address.
CDW.com/HPE.
I'm in your mind, man.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. We're talking to Smallwood Holloman about Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity and the Iota Chi Lambda chapter of that fraternity, which is local. Holding, it is like a state conference. Is that what it is Saturday, Smallwood?
Yes, it is. A state conference is typically held annually. And it's really a conference where the business of fraternity is discussed, both informational from national, the national body of the fraternity, but mostly reports from areas of the state of Michigan. We have directors representing about 7 areas in the state that will report on the health of how things are going.
Now, yeah, you mentioned that Alpha Phi Alpha is a service organization as opposed to just a typical university party fraternity. What kinds of service things do you do? What kinds of projects do you get involved in?
Well, let's see. Let's start with scholarship. We typically, and most of the chapters throughout the state, will have fundraisers specifically in order to give scholarship to young people coming out of high school. And my last accounting of what we, or I should say, at this chapter over the last 50 years or so, I don't believe we started it on day one, but we've given out almost 100 scholarships to young people throughout the Great Lakes Bay region, and including going west to Isabella County. The other are usually partnerships. We partner with the NAACP typically for informational sessions that we get throughout the community. We've partnered with Great Lakes Bay Health to disseminate both health information, and we have initiatives that make communicating with young people in high school so very good. One is called Go to School, Go to College, and there we line up professionals, to discuss, what are some of their options for the future. And of course, a fraternity like mine, you could you could be the principal of a school or a chemist.
I was going to say a chemist, yeah.
There you go. Or a chemical engineer. I mean, we've got several that are in the STEM professions. So we give seminars to them, and we work that, again, in partnership groups. Others are, we have a voter registration drive, and nationally we call that initiative a voteless people is a hopeless people. So during election time, we usually get busy in helping to get people registered to vote. We don't take positions on issues, but we sure want to make sure they're well informed. More recent projects have been, over the last 2 to 3 years, has been working with the fraternity others in the Flint area, and we work with them on the water distribution.
Oh, yeah.
This community. Yeah, we would spend several weekends in Flint, going to churches, to other civic organizational groups, and helping to disseminate water to those needing it down there.
So basically what I'm hearing, and that's why I asked the question, the word service has meaning as opposed to just being a phrase.
For this fraternity, that's exactly right. And it's somewhat of the lifeblood of the organization. Because what we do when we're engaged in things like that, we're also looking at other young men and other young men looking at us to see, is this the type of group I want to be a part of? Because there are a lot of serious young people out there who look for things. Sometimes you have to help them find these initiatives. You don't wake up mornings knowing that you're going to go do Meals on Wheels with the Council on Aging. You sometimes have to learn that by observation of other men. So, it's in our lifeblood as an organization. Like I say, I am glad I chose this one, this fraternity versus anything else.
So the conference, as I understand it, is titled 21st Century Reconstruction, Alpha Edition. Explain that.
Yeah, boy, that one took a little while to develop. One of the major recognitions that we saw, particularly over the last 18 to 20 months, is how the pandemic, even how our social climate, justice systems, social injustices, have had an impact on our communities, and typically it's a negative impact. Just to take the one example, the pandemic exposed food insecurities that we have in the community.
Yeah.
So as a fraternity, and not just our fraternity here in this region, but most around the state and around the nation, created initiatives to help feed their communities, working with food banks and making sure that distribution centers are in those community areas where it's well needed. A great example, I'm going to connect this to this conference. We have a presenter who's here in the area, Dr. Dennis LaFoon, who's one of the fraternity brothers, who's going to be presenting a session on, I think it's called 21st Century Thinking for Healthy Living. Now, he's got some real good examples on what that means. One of a major initiative his church, which I do attend to, his church did was to create a community garden. And it's grow some food. It's a garden that says, you come grow some food and we're going to share it with the community. You may take some home with you, whoever shows up, but the whole intent is to make sure the community that surrounds that church and a little bit beyond are going to eat healthy vegetables. And we were hoping to extend it throughout the year. And we found ways to extend it by, again, working with food distribution centers. I think we're working with one out of Flint and Detroit that throughout even the winter we're supplying vegetables and stuff that people need to have. But yeah, reconstruction, which just says, there's been damage to our communities, and we want to find some solutions to so that during this conference, when my fraternity brothers come and listen to these presentations, they're going to leave here with some ideas of what can they do. Well, first of all, identify in their community that there is a need, and then here are some things you can do to impact the community more positively in the area of at least nutrition. Now we have other topics given by a fraternity brother, Brother Twanny Gray. He actually owns a behavioral health business there in Saginaw, and he's going to do one on reconstructing our mental health.
Big topic today.
Big topic, yeah. Even this morning I heard some stats about those who may have had a mental concern prior to the pandemic clearly had one during the pandemic, because nothing was normal in anyone's lives over the last 19 to 20 plus months. And seeing a therapist, he's going to give us some hints. Well, actually, give us some hints, plus say, hey, look for these kinds of signs within your community, and please, here are the things you should consider doing. So this conference isn't about having a good little chicken dinner and singing the fraternity hymn. It's about coming here and leaving with something to improve your community.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be a great conference since you're the chairperson.
Well, I appreciate your confidence, and fraternity brothers lay hands on me, and I mean hopefully applause, and not actually lay hands on me to kick me out of town.
Listen, my friend, it is always a pleasure, and look forward to breaking bread with you again down the road, and good luck with the conference this weekend.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you, Art, for the opportunity to discuss both of these big events that's happening in the life of this fraternity. We do appreciate that.
All right, sir. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Take care, Smallwood. Bye-bye now. Smallwood Holloman, he is, I guess, full disclosure, a good friend of mine, and I've known Smallwood for a long, long time. Retired out of Dow, and by training a chemist, and moved into administrative roles later on in his career with Dow, but been a very good friend. And the Alpha Phi Alpha Iota Chi Lambda chapter celebrating their 50th anniversary this weekend, and then the state conference on Saturday. We're going to take a break, come back. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour. Whatever you'd like to chat about, we'll do it with you when we come back.
Hello, this is Ron from Transmission Repair. Now, All A's is an exclusive authorized repair facility for BG products and services. BG is a proprietary group of chemicals, equipment, and procedures that flush your engine's lubrication system, cooling system, and fuel injectors, increasing the engine's performance, efficiency, and life. So next time you schedule routine auto maintenance, ask All A's about the advantages of BG services. You'll definitely notice a difference. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Is All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair a business you can depend on?
Just moved to Midland, was dreading finding a new auto shop. Search over, came highly recommended, and I, in turn, highly recommended them.
They did a great job getting excellent communication with what was going on with my vehicle through diagnostic and repair.
In fact, 96% of All A's customers rank them 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. See for yourself at allaysautorepair.net. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job a candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Napa know-how. Right now, a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil is only $19.99. It's the hottest deal of the year for the coldest time of the year. So if you're in your car right now, there's no need to turn on the heat. I'm about to read this sizzler again. That's Napa full synthetic for a hot $19.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations does not include taxes and fees. Advertised sale price not available in some states. Offer ends 12/31/21.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents.
And does.
Don't you just love the smell of old books? Shh, this is a library. For a book titled Liberty Mutual Customizes Your Car Insurance So You Only Pay for What You Need. I don't think we carry that, but check nonfiction. It really does devour literature. Please leave. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I love being able to share with our family who's listening how much we all love State Farm insurance. With surprisingly great rates, State Farm has saved us money with our car and home insurance.
I mean, you're my wife. You know how much I love a great deal. So, of course, I'm going to love the great rates and great service at State Farm. It's good for my wallet and for my family.
State Farm meets my needs. Plus, I get to control how and what I want for my budget. And I do it all from their award-winning mobile app.
Surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. The system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, Navage.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, back with you on the Art Lewis Show. My thanks to Smallwood Holloman for being with us. And we move to open phones for the remainder of the hour. And Al is in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Hey, a number of things here. Wasn't Smallwood Holman, wasn't he the professional bowler?
No.
Okay, I got him mixed
No,
up with
that was what was his name? Holloman. I know who you're talking about, but it was not Smallwood, no.
Okay, well, I got him mixed up. You get a chance to talk to the fellow that's the bowler. Ask him when their TV show is going to go in production.
It already is. It already is, and boy, I thought I saw a date. It's called Smallwood, and I'll have to check to see when it's scheduled. But I know that they've already shot the series. Let me just
Mark,
a minute.
what was the name? Mark Gibson, or that was the production guy?
Oh, I don't know.
He's a producer that produces a lot of TV shows. I know his name is Mark. I just don't remember the last name right now.
Let us see. All right, on CBS. And what does it say? I don't know that it has a start date on here yet.
Okay, I haven't seen anything about it. I would like to be able to watch this show. It sounds very interesting.
Oh yeah, it will be.
Yeah,
it will be.
Hey,
by the way, it'll be interesting, but it's only going to be slightly relatable to the real story.
right. I understand that, but so, they gotta make it entertaining.
Yeah, they take poetic license. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting listening to the Liberty Mutual commercial followed by a State Farm commercial on something insurance.
What can I tell you?
I get a kick out of the one with the emu in the library.
Yeah.
Devouring books and the smell of old books. I don't think old books smell that good, but beside the point. On this economy and stuff, I'm looking at this lithium battery outfit. They had a special on TV. They were talking.
Yeah.
Strip mining.
Right.
They got to do strip mining to get it. So they're out in Nevada and Arizona and New Mexico, and they're going to strip mine a whole bunch of these natural areas. And they got a guy out there right now camping out there, trying to protect the land. And
yeah, he's against it. Yeah, I saw the story.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. So they're going to do the same thing they did to the coal industry. They're going to strip mine just like they did with coal. So
apparently, though, from what they were saying. The technology is a little bit different how they get it out. It's not quite the same.
Well, they still have to do a whole bunch of, and there's water pollution because they need water to do some of the mining process. So there's a water pollution content, and of course they're going to use fossil fuels to extract this stuff. Can't use just solar and wind and stuff because they got to have motorized equipment, big heavy machines. They don't have any battery operated machines of that size, so they're going to be using a whole bunch of fossil fuels.
I'm sure they are, but it's either that or we let China dictate to us.
Right. They do a lot of pollution on their own. We get a lot of plastic that flows in from across the Pacific Ocean that China is just dumping out in the ocean, and it flows up into the western side of the country. So they're talking about plastic in the ocean, and China's doing that. So they're not stopping it either. So there's all kinds of environment. I just don't see this smooth ride.
Oh, it probably won't be a smooth ride, but it's a necessary ride.
Yeah, it is a necessary ride. Well, until they discover some other battery technology that's different than lithium, and
but that's
probably 60 years away. Or
that's true. But here's the big question: the overriding question: do we want to be dependent, or do we want to be independent?
Yeah,
do we want and with the push for electric automobiles, how dependent do we want to be on the rest of the world?
Right. Well, right now we're dependent on other countries for our fossil fuel, for oil and things like that.
The president goes to OPEC and says, you guys need to increase production. Yeah. Why didn't he go to Texas and tell them to do the same thing?
Why didn't he just open up we were producing, we had American jobs,
exactly.
We were paying American.
Everything he's done is shut down our system. It makes no sense to me.
I don't understand the foolishness of it, and he's going to pay the political price for it because the history.
Well, that may be, but
back at him.
Yeah,
they're going to say he's a failure.
Maybe.
They're going to
Time will tell.
High inflation, the 2 or 3 positive things that he's done. The teeter-totter on the other side is never going to let up.
Well, let me never say never. Never say never.
His little 3 positives don't.
Never say never.
Some on the other side.
Never say never. Because politics is a fickle bedfellow.
Get a lot of stuff off that other end of the teeter-totter to get his 3 things on the
side
to go down.
Never say never. And that's all I'm telling you.
Right now, then inflation is going to kill him.
Well, that's the thing that is going to get him, because in general, when the public goes to the polls, they vote their pocketbook.
Yeah, and it hurts the poor and the middle class more than the rich.
Absolutely.
So,
all right.
The rich people aren't the ones that are. They aren't really in good stead with him anyway. So, he doesn't. They don't care about it because they can shelter their money.
Yeah.
But the poor and the middle class, they're screwed.
All right, I got to run out. I got to run.
Thanks,
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Nice morning, sir.
You too. Bye-bye now. Lee, hang on. We'll get back with you in just a couple of moments.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea. Not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
There's a confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. But one thing is for vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and which pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart, or Go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, Navage.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
1, 2, 3.
The WSW online poll, the Detroit Lions of 2021.
Oh, okay.
Well, especially since they're going into a bye week.
And they can't lose this weekend.
They can't lose. It's 2008. The Lions finished the first 0-16 season in NFL history. Now, this season has since been matched by the Cleveland Browns. That was back in 2017. Now, as the Lions are in a bye week of this extended 17-game season with a the team might finish 0-17. Will speculation become reality? That is what we want to know from you in the poll. Our poll question is simple. Will the Lions win at least one game in this 2021 season? You can vote yes, you can vote no, or if you're very optimistic, I give you the option of, I think the Lions will win more than one game this season.
Oh, you can put one more option in there?
Tie. That would be the ultimate, wouldn't it? Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find a poll box, and vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. Back to our phones. Lee is in Saginaw. Lee, good morning to you.
I wanted to comment on what you were talking about earlier about the Fifth Court of Appeals putting a vaccine mandate on hold.
Yep.
They said there's grave constitutional concerns and regulatory concerns. What I think they're talking about is there's 2 Supreme Court cases that have to deal with mandatory vaccinations. The first one was in 1905 in Massachusetts. The second one was in 1922 in Texas. And they both revolved around the state mandating the smallpox vaccine. The Supreme Court ruled in both cases that the individual states, because of their inherent police, could protect the public health and mandate vaccines. That has always been held to be the power of the states. The federal government has never, ever stepped into that arena before until now. That's why when you go to different states, they may have different vaccine requirements in their states, for their schools or whatever.
Right.
So if the Supreme Court takes this, they would have to overturn precedent. And I haven't seen out of this.
No. Whoa. Well, no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. If the rulings from back then in the early part of the 19th century were that the states had the right to do the mandates, they would not be overruling precedents if they shut down the federal government's attempt to mandate. They would simply be turning it back to the states.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
Right.
I guess you misunderstood what I said. They would have to upend precedent if they said the federal government had that power. Then they'd be taking that power away from the state.
It'd be a new precedent. Yes.
Correct.
Right.
And I don't see that happening.
No, I don't either. And I think the other side of this coin is all of those mandates back then were general mandates to the population.
Mm-hmm.
These mandates are specific to business. And I think that's another side of this that has to be ruled on, where the government has that authority and power. So time will tell. We'll see what I eventually expect, and hopefully on a fast track, that the Supreme Court will take this issue.
I do too, but they could also since the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has already put an injunction on it.
Yeah, but that's a suspension as opposed to a final ruling.
Right, but what I'm saying is if the Fifth Circuit takes it up and rules on it, let's say they rule that it's unconstitutional, the Supreme Court will just let that ruling stand.
Yeah, they could, absolutely. Absolutely. And I would expect that if that were to happen in the Fifth Circuit, it might go to a full panel as opposed to the 3-member panel. But we'll see what happens. See what happens. Hey, good enough, Lee. Thanks. You too. Bye-bye. Let's talk to Errol in Saginaw. Errol, good morning.
Are you having a good morning yet?
I'm having a wonderful, wonderful day.
Yeah, you like lithium. Have you ever seen the basic product itself?
Say what now?
Have you seen lithium? Have you ever seen it?
I don't think so.
Okay. Nevada is where our mining operation is at for lithium.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And it's tremendous in size. And lithium is a kind of a gray color, and it's because that's where a volcano exploded at one time.
Right. Exactly.
A company that's mining it is American Lithium something. might be a stock to buy, but it's lighter than water.
But they are
And
they are a small player compared to what there's planned out. What's planned out there?
Yep. Yes, but that's the only place in the United States I think that we have any lithium.
Yeah, of any. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you're right.
But it's pretty interesting to see it. So if you get it on your hands, you can't blow it off.
Well, it almost looks like volcanic ash in some ways.
Takia.
All right, take care. Bye bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye.
So the question will arise. The question has already arisen. The future of the supply for us. Do we want to be dependent on others, including China, or do we want to be independent? I vote for the latter. In the same way that I wish the president would go to our Texas oil producers and ask them to produce more rather than limit them and go to OPEC and say, oh, you guys ought to produce more for us. Right. Not going to happen. All right, we're going to take our last break, and then we'll be back to close out.
One of the great 10 Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort proudly presents Jonathan Antoine, Saturday night, December 18th. The musical sensation of Britain's Got Talent, Jonathan Antoine. Tickets start at $25. On sale now at the Soaring Eagle and Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com. The majesty and grace of one of the great young tenors, Jonathan Antoine at Soaring Eagle Casino. Enjoy a magical Christmas with Jonathan Antoine, Saturday night, December 18th at Soaring Eagle Casino. Tickets on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
You can't be taking risks. That's common knowledge. But that doesn't mean you should throw caution to the wind. And when it comes to new technology, farmers always look before they leap. And for the past 3 years, farmers have looked at the Enlist weed control system, and they have leapt. Now it's your turn. Millions and millions of acres have proven the effectiveness of Enlist herbicide's superior technology with neighbor-friendly weed control, more tank mix options, near zero volatility, and much, much more. But to unlock all these advantages, you must start with Enlist E3 soybeans. See what a better seed and herbicide system can bring to your fields at enlist.com. You've looked, now lead.
Liberty Mutual Insurance.
And Doug. Don't you just love the smell of old books? Shh, this is a library. Sorry, ma'am. We're looking for a book titled Liberty Mutual Customizes Your Car Insurance so you only pay for what you need. I don't think we carry that, but check nonfiction. He really does devour literature. Please leave. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Big news from Simply Safe Home Security. Okay. Actually, I think the horns are too much. Yeah, that's better. Big news. The new wireless outdoor security camera. Simply Safe's award-winning home security just got even better, taking whole home protection to a whole new level. Okay, I'm missing the horns. Simply Safe is celebrating this new camera with 30% off a new system this week. Visit simplysafe.com.
All right, it's going to do it for the Art Lewis Show. My thanks to the Saginaw Spirit for sponsoring my home studio. My thanks to Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty for sponsoring the show. If you have needs for commercial or residential real estate, give Linda a call, 989-295-7713. Stop into the Point, M46 and M47, and visit Cafe 476. While you're there, try some of their new soups. Thanks to Linda Shepard of Pinnacle Realty. Coming up on Focus, first-time housing buyers, David Hall from the Saginaw Housing Commission will talk to Charlie Rood. That happens after the CBS News and the local report. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll be back to see you then here on WSGW.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSG.